South Africa's in crisis. What you're seeing is the worst unrest to hit the country since the end of apartheid. Thousands of people looting, setting factories and shops ablaze. These are desperate times. One mother, trapped by the flames and smoke, dropping her baby from the second floor to strangers to catch. Miraculously, both survived and were reunited later. Police and armed forces have been deployed, shooting stun guns into the crowds. Over the last few days, the violence has shaken South Africa. More than 100 people dead, among them a 14-year-old boy. The unrest began shortly after former President Jacob Zuma was sentenced to 15 months for contempt of court. He'd failed to attend an inquiry into corruption during his presidency. It's not the only charges he faces. Zuma's on trial for racketeering, 2 counts of corruption and 12 counts of fraud. The 79-year-old denies the allegations, but during his term, he was also accused of using taxpayer money to fund home renovations to the tune of $23 million. He was ordered to pay back some of the costs, but still denied any wrongdoing. His arrest sparked massive protests, also unleashing pent-up anger about poverty, unemployment and corruption. Protesters blocking major roads in South Africa's economic heartland. Moletsi Mbeki is the brother of Thabo Mbeki, the man who succeeded Mandela and a leading political analyst.
So there's been this massive growth in inequality amongst the blacks in South Africa. So what you are seeing happening is being driven in part by the resentment that the leaders who used to mobilize the poor to fight against apartheid and promise them that you will have a better future, the leaders got the better future, but the mass of the people are still where they were in the economic sense.
The situation quickly deteriorating. Many feel it's been a long time coming. South Africa has been marred by economic and political instability. It was the ANC, the African National Congress, that led the struggle for liberation from the tyranny of apartheid. Like Nelson Mandela, Jacob Zuma was a hero of that fight. But today, he and his party are accused of being at the heart of the country's problems, riddled with corruption. In 2019, the World Bank saying South Africa was the most unequal country in the world, where 20% of people control 70% of resources. But Zuma has a loyal group of supporters who say he's advocated for providing opportunities for poor rural residents. His supporters are largely Zulu, South Africa's largest ethnic group, and the riots took place in their backyard.
See the mess.
This business owner was opened for 12 years. It took just one day to tear it all down.
I'm finished with anger. I'm very disappointed. I had the little bit of hope I had for a black man is finished. It's finished. I'm born here. I'm running the business here. I'm helping the community here. And this is the thank you.
The government now deploying more than 25,000 troops to quell the unrest. But people in South Africa's 2 most populated provinces are already feeling the toll. With the grocery stores ransacked and oil refineries shut down, lines of cars form as people struggle to get enough food and gasoline. South Africa's current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has been criticised for not doing enough to protect the people, especially the poor.
Our current president used to be a leader of the poorest section of our workers, which were mine workers. Today, the gentleman is a billionaire.
South Africa's unemployment reached new highs only last month, and for a lot of South Africa's youth, the future looks bleak. The fear is that today's calm is only a lull, that without real change, more violence and death might be unavoidable. Ian Pannell for ABC News.